as any. Bryce Young, Monday night start, trying to continue a hot streak between a win at Green Bay and a loss at home against the Saints. So who are you? Are you the best version of yourself? Meanwhile, Brock Purdy and the Niners.
I wouldn't know.
Be the guy. Mac Jones did his part, held the rope while Purdy was injured.
Play fake, something as simple as that. Like he's moving it to this hand mid fake, and it's just everything is done very Like I really just motions.
What's appealing about it?
The motions and the way that they move things around and the positions, and that's what the guys I was with. I've always wondered how they coach it. Like all this stuff happening, and like what is
Picasso, for sure. For sure. RC, with that thought in mind, taking a look at the tape and what they're doing and what they do well. Where Jennings has missed time. Ricky Pearsall had a knee injury that lingered for more than a month, actually a couple of months, and was absent. But there is ever going to see itself get back out on the field.
Well, Kyle Shanahan said over the weekend they're still hoping to get him back on the field. He also acknowledged, as a matter of fact, if you look at it, basically the deadline to file a non-injury grievance over the void. So he's got no legal recourse for him to challenge the money that was voided. He's there. Kyle Shanahan, see how that plays out. RC, why are you shaking your hands like that?
Because it's $25 million. He had a month and a half.
50 days.
To say, you know what? I might want some of the do not understand that decision making.
My mama still slapped the hell out of me if I did a football team. I think there's a little bit of fatigue for the job this man does as a head coach. If you think about the attrition, that you lose the leader of your football team, but also arguably the best defender in the NFL and Fred Warner, and this team is still in position, which most organizations will fall from.
This has to be one of his best coaching jobs.
100%.
Right here.
100%.
In the season where you
think the Eagles, particularly under Roseman, Lurie, you got stability, you got winning, you got that's an Eagle franchise. I think
this great admiration for the way they play, great admiration for the coaching and the scheme and the way that they set their players.
They're sharing the field for 60 minutes with an excellent team, and that's certainly what this Niners group has been. Carolina, they're finding some solid ground and finding footing and ascending after that career best and franchise best performance last week against Atlanta's team. And really, I think I alluded to it when I mentioned you go to Lambeau and you beat Green Bay. And then the very next week you come home and you lose race. And then you play games like last week where you come back against Atlanta. My question is real simple. Is this team good? Is this team a...
When Bryce Young is playing good, when he's kept clean, when Rico Dowdle is running the football, things start rolling or going downhill for them. They have trouble making the adjustment to get out of it. Starts to go bad. Once they are punched in the face, they don't necessarily have the requisite answers to solve the problem.
They're young, and with being young, like our kids, like we were when we were young, you're inconsistent. One day, to me, that is literally the way that they play football. It's an inconsistency, but you can see the belief about the Carolina Panthers right now today. I think this team makeup is built down the road.
Adam, we know that Bryce Young was benched. We also know that he lately, and they have been good. They view him as the future in
Buccaneers and win the NFC South. I would think he's playing his way into having that option exercise. If they fall short and
there have been games earlier this year where if you told me Thanksgiving week it would be to be in the lead in the NFC South.
Masterpiece, A Night at the Opera, released 50 years ago this week, which included this icon. That's good news for Panthers fans. 6-0 this season when they win the toss. 0-5 when they lose. Here, the 1 in Arizona, and the 49ers punched it in on the very next play. First play from turf toe injury, which is a more serious injury than the name of the injury actually would lead you to believe.
You know, there was no stiffness or soreness that affected him coming into this ball game, but it's always a concern when you have that type of injury. For
more touches this season than Christian McCaffrey, and on first down, in the first play from scrimmage, he picks up 3. Jake Brendel is their center, and then McCaffrey, Juszczyk, who they've been using a lot this year, and pile up plays for his big tight end, George Kittle.
Yeah, and Kyle Shanahan, he's as creative as there is as an offense. It a little differently, and they're doing that now with Kyle Juszczyk.
Good protection. McCaffrey, a loss of 3 on that strong tackle on McCaffrey.
And that is not an easy tackle to make for Trayvon Merrick. What was in, and they don't play much man. So you see Merrick, he comes up, he's assigned then to McCaffrey, makes a great open field tackle.
Here's McCaffrey out of the brig out there, but not before. McCaffrey is able to get 11 and a fresh set of downs.
Well, as we know, and nobody's even really close. Of course, they've had some injuries. George Kittle's missed a number of games this year, as has Ricky.
That's Pearsall in motion. A little bobble on that handoff in the middle for Carolina's defense. Made that stop. Robinson is up front as we look at this defense stopping the run. They're their linebackers without Roseboom and Trevin Wallace. Both are injured in their secondary. His 4 touches by McCaffrey, and it's 2nd and 7. Careless, a gain of 4, so 3rd and short coming up.
Well, this game's going to be interesting to watch because at the outset that these quarterbacks, Bryce Young as well as Brock Purdy, are going to have some time to throw in the pocket. We can get the hot hand, and he can carve you up pretty good.
3rd down and 3. NFL against the team that drafted him 8th overall in 2017 gets a 1st down.
Yeah, I really liked it and the things ends.
You remember his story last year, shot in the chest during an attempted robbery in Sandfoot, settling in as a receiver for the 49ers. Play action, Purdy is chased, and Robinson was the target as Purdy was just getting rid of it. 2nd and 10.
Well, Derek Brown, he's going to be a key fact. Offensive lineman, they think he's going one way. He's able to split it, and they're going to try to get 4 hands on him as best they can. The time that Derek Brown missed, he essentially missed the entire season, and they're a much improved group because of his help.
Kittle, who was in motion at the snap, and a gain of 7, 3rd down coming up.
Well, I'm up with the right guard, Dominic Pooney, and he just kicks it out. And they start moving bodies, and they then create the receiver. But as a blocking tight end, he's as good as there is.
Here's McCaffrey able to get a 1st down. What they missed the second they traded him back in 2022.
No question, and I know in talking with Kyle Shanahan for a big rushing night in this game, the strength of Carolina defensively is that defensive front that you talk. Christian McCaffrey or Brian Robinson, they're in for a big night.
Good protection for Purdy. That one is making his 2nd straight start for the injured Trevin Wallace.
Yeah, a lot of banged up guys around the league. Really nice game last week when he was called in to come in and play. Had his first start of the season. Did a nice job.
253.
20. What's up?
Scott at the end. Merrick was in on the stop as well, but a gain of 9, and the methodical Marson
coming off the line of scrimmage, and they just start moving people. And this running game coming into tonight is not going to change much by the end of the year based on where they are right now and not performing to their level. But I still think.
And he's got a big play on 1st down. Pearsall was out there leading the way in a gain of 8.
Offense, if you're not willing to do some of the dirty work and get involved in the run game. Kyle Juszczyk, he's leading the way as well.
McCaffrey is 1 touch short of a career high on an opening drive. And spinning and driving for a 49er 1st down. They got him. Oh, this is Turk Wharton, who is able to get off the field, and then
he didn't think he was going to make it.
I mean, that's all he had right there. 5 1st downs on this opening possession. Another touch for McCaffrey. And he is bottled up at the.
I mentioned Derek Brown and what he's meant to the improved run defense. Ashawn Robinson, he's been a big part of that as well. He's been in this league. Defensively, the 49ers came out, have put together a heck of a drive, but if you can hold them here to 3 points, it's a win defensive.
5 games, 16 touchdowns, 19 trips. Here's Jennings. And he's going to take it in.
Free safety, and so Purdy knows he's got to put it right on him, and Juwan Jennings knows he's going to get hit at the same time.